So I want to first off start off by saying Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there who enjoyed their Father's Day, to the first-year fathers such as myself and many others. You know, it was truly a humbling experience. You know, my family went all out for me, and you know, it just gave me such a sense of pride that, you know, that they acknowledge the job that I'm doing. And it's not so much that they acknowledge the job I'm doing, it's just the appreciation that was, you know, put upon me yesterday was just something that it really did. It was an emotional day for me. For those who don't know, I lost my father. He passed on some time ago. And, you know, he was somebody who was so influential to me growing up. And it's something that I've taken great pride in, and one of my approach to being a father now. So just to everyone out there, man, happy Father's Day, happy Father's Day weekend. I hope you guys had a great one, and let's get right into the topic of the video. And as you guys can see the title, you know, Errol Spence makes me proud. He really does. I'm so proud of him. I really am, because if there's any fighter that's deserving of it, it's Errol Spence. You know, when he first came on the scenes, you heard very little from Errol Spence. You know, he was very quiet demeanor, very respectful. Through the whole shenanigans with Floyd Mayweather that was going on, he was a very respectful and humble man. How he approaches the sport of boxing, and just how he approaches interviews and his fan base. He's just somebody you want to be around. You know, he seems like one of those individuals who, you know, they make you better by knowing them, you know, and they make you appreciate the dedication and the hard work that they put in to the craft and to the sport as a whole. What I witnessed this past Saturday night, having Jerry Jones. Now, you guys know I have my issues with Jerry Jones in the NFL. I still think that Jerry Jones, however great he is commercially for a product, I do think that Jerry Jones has a lot of backwards way of thinking, and I will stick to that. But to see how the American fight fan reacted this past weekend, 15,000 plus, right, fans. I'd be interested to see what the viewership was on this fight, but I can tell you that I knew people who I worked with who personally told me that they had fight parties for Errol Spence. Now, this is, you know, a guy versus a relatively unknown guy, and they were having fight parties for this. So this just gives you it kind of broadens what is the perception of where Errol Spence is headed as far as stardom in America, and as far as American boxing is concerned. And, you know, it's just one of those things, you know, to see a guy who approaches the sport with such respect. I watched his special they did on Showtime where they interviewed him, talked about him playing football back in the day, then transitioning over to boxing. The man is just one of those humble people who is just like everyday you and me, who is thrust into a situation and he made the best out of it. And he is somebody who approaches everything with a calculus that you would expect a professional athlete to do so. And it's something that I gotta admire and respect, and it's something that makes me proud. Now, I know it's not about him, but Terrence Crawford is another one of those fighters. You know, makes me proud. It really does make me proud. Another one of those fighters who approaches the game with the calculus that you would expect of a professional athlete who is dedicated to the sport and dedicated to his fan base. And that is something that you need in the sport. We have several other fighters who do the same thing. You know, one of the fighters that I know that I'm really rooting for is Caleb Plant. He's got an up-and-coming fight, and possibly against Benavidez. And I can't wait for that, because I feel Caleb Plant is due his just due to get in the ring. I think a lot of people will be surprised the strides he's making in training camp that I've seen. That I think that it's going to excite a lot of fight fans. He's a defensively slick fighter. He gets, you know, a little ragged on because he can tend to become a little bit complacent, but the guy is he's the goods. But there are so many other fighters like that I respect. It's one of the reasons why I respect Badu Jack. You know, family man, person who who dedicates himself to the sport, dedicates himself to his fan base, and doesn't need to make waves, but by his performances in the ring. Now, again, I know a lot of people are a little upset with Badu over Adonis Stevenson, but I still think he did a great job. I think he did a good job, you know. And, you know, Andre Ward, I've been on the record about this, but back to Errol Spence Jr. Shout out to Errol Spence Jr., his family. Shout out to the fan base that came out to support him. Shout out to Texas. Shout out to my man, DCB Boxing, Fred from Barbershop Conversation. Shout out to Black Fight Fan TV, the real man who's been pushing this Texas boxing. And, you know, they were all out in full force together, the three brothers. It was great to see them all out there together, enjoying the spectacle. And I, you know, again, like I said, I just can't say enough. I can't rave enough about, you know, the 147 division. Seems to, you know, we thought it was, you know, came to life with Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia and Sean Porter and Errol Spence. Now it just seems to, it's just gone through this elevation, because we have these two titans on a collision course, and Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And it's just, you know, I can't say enough good things about these two guys who are going to be ambassadors to the 147 division. And leading the way is Errol Spence Jr. And respect to Errol Spence Jr., respect to all his fan base, and I'm out.